Hello everybody, and welcome to this video with myself, Sam Gregory, and today I'm actually going to be talking about a light that I use. In fact, I've got 3 of them, believe it or not, for various purposes, and this is the Kaiser K5850, which is a desktop LED light. And I'm going to talk you through the different purposes that I use it for and just give you a little example here with this print as well. Now, just before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel, where we have lots of videos about photographic equipment and indeed videos about printing and maximising the quality of your prints from home. But without any further ado, let's have a little bit more of a chat about this Kaiser LED desktop light. Okay, so I mentioned I already have a number of these lights myself at home and in studio purposes, and I use them for a few different reasons. First off, any of the videos you see me do on here, they are lit by 2 of these lights, sometimes 3, depending on the setup. So because of the size of the panel, which is 5.5 by 7.9 inch, and the angle it throws out at, which I believe is 110 degrees, which is quite wide basically. If you have a video setup at home in a small office or even on location, they're great lights to have around because they're daylight balanced, they don't get hot. In fact, they're balanced to 5,600 Ks. Like I say, they do not get hot in the room because they're LED, and they don't flicker, and I've never had any issues with use. So from a video point of view, they're great to have as just standard lights. Now, the other use, which actually I wanted to talk to you about on here, and this is probably a great reason to have them if you're a photographer printing at home, is if you're checking your prints. And when I say checking, what I really mean is looking for any little issues, and or just wanting to check different papers potentially against different profiles. And especially I find with black and white, it's very useful to have a set. Now what I actually do is set up 2 of these. Now for the purposes of the video, I've just got 1 here so that you can see how it illuminates the print. But normally on my desk, I would have 1 on one side, 1 on the other side, and I would put my print in the middle. And that way I know the print is being showered in that controlled light. Now with black and white, obviously the goal for us always is to get a cast-free black and white print out of the printer, and we've got lots of other videos about how to achieve that, to do with profiling your screen, having a custom ICC profile, etc. However, even when all those things are done, different papers, because of their different makeup and the white point of them, and to some degree the Dmax, they're going to render black and white images differently. So even though you've got everything set up to be correct, some papers are just slightly warmer and some papers are slightly cooler. So what I like to do, especially with black and whites where, like this one, where the blacks are very prevalent, is I like to just look at it with these Kaiser desktop lights. 1, or indeed I would actually suggest buying 2 and having, like I say, 1 come at you from either end. Now for a little bit of tech stuff, these lights have a CRI, so that's a color rendition index of 95, which is nice and high. And also there is a 480 max lux luminance. Difficult to say, isn't it? But all you really need to know is they work great, especially at 1 to 2 meters, I would say is their best usage. So close up like this for prints, or if you're in a small room, like I mentioned earlier, for doing videos. Just a tiny bit more info about how to use them. They do come with these neat desktop stands, which are fully sort of pivotable at 3 points on the angle, and there's a turn dial for pivoting left and right. Also, that's just like a hot shoe attachment there, so you could whip it off the base and put it onto a camera here or further up as well. And then you could use it, for example, for some product shots or even potentially some macro shots, although there are other Kaiser ring lights which might be better suited to that as well. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting hearing about how I use these particular lights. They're very well priced, and I've had mine a number of years now and never had to replace them. So quality, as with all Kaiser stuff, is very good. And I'm sure whatever you're doing at home, be it vlogging or be it just printing and checking your images, you would find use for these lights in your setup. Anyway, do make sure you subscribe to the Fotospeed channel for more information about these accessories and indeed all things to do with printing at home. But from me, that's everything today, and I shall speak to you again very soon.